but love, baby, love's the only thing I'm plenty of, baby. Rewind, scheme and wine, you're sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things. Gee, I'd love to see you.
I know. Jasper is a bore. Oh, there you are, Jasper. You all right, darling?
Oh, yes, I'm all right. Thanks. Perfectly all right. Just a bit tired, that's all. In fact, I think I may go home in a moment. I did rather promise Mother I'd tie up the branches of the nectarine tree against the garden wall before it got dark.
In the course of that restless night, I made a decision which was really quite melodramatic, coming from me.
I've decided to resign, Mother.
Oh, Jasper.
I'm going to live in Paris.
Oh, Jasper. But your job's so safe. It's almost impossible to be sacked from the civil service.
Is that what I'm seeking out of life, Mother? Safety? I mean, am I that boring? I want to live.
That's all very well, dear. We all want to live, but what will you live on?
I'll paint.
Oh, Jasper.
Look, what is all this, oh, Jasper, Mother? I feel I have a genuine talent. Sorry. I may not be a genius, but my efforts are consistently superior to those of the other exhibitors of the Whitehall Arts Club.
Oh, Jasper.
Excuse me, madam. Would you care to take this seat?
Thanks, ever so. Did you say something? Did you say there was another seat?
No, ma'am. But I think this young lady's about to offer you hers. Aren't you?
Don't mind. Thank you.
Suddenly I realized that a new chapter in my life was about to open. My umbrella would have to go. Let this be the first gesture of revolt. À bas le parapluie. A bore indeed. That was not how Mark Fairweather would view me when I handed in my resignation.
What's that in your buttonhole?
Delphinium.
Never saw that in a man's buttonhole before. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la. How would you like a complete change of routine? A break from all this? Out with the in tray, out with the out tray?
Well, as a matter of fact, Mark, I would like a break, and I was intending to tell you today. I want to resign.
No, can't have that. We have a job that's a little out of the ordinary. It requires tact and discretion, so I'm asking you to tackle it, Jasper.
Oh.
There's an outlying division of the ministry. It's very small, which seems to have become rather isolated from headquarters. It has a staff of only 3, an obscure university don called Pollux, a statistician called Quirk, and a female person. It's called Output Statistics. Its purpose was to collect and analyze the output of foreign publications, but frankly, it was set up rather hurriedly during the Battle of Britain and has never been screened for redundancy.
What, since 1940? You mean the ministry has forgotten it for 17 years?
Not forgotten, Jasper. Overlooked. It's quite different. They're in a big house on the border of Norfolk and Suffolk. It belongs to a backwoodsman peer, the Earl of Flamborough. Here's their output for the past 3 months.
Good Lord.
Now, I don't want to put words into your mouth. You have a completely free hand, of course, but it would do your career no harm at all if you were to find that its work during and immediately after the war was of immense value, but its usefulness is now over, and it should be wound up instantly.
Oh, no, I don't think this is my cup of tea, Mark.
You'll go tomorrow, take your painting kit. The place is called Arcady Hall. Good luck, Jasper.
It was, after all, a good umbrella, and it might rain. Even in Arcady.
There's an unchanging look about this part of the world, isn't there?
Oh, I do hope so. I can't bear to read about estates being broken up and all those lovely old houses going to rack and ruin or being given over to government departments or lunatic asylums.
Yes, I'm going to one that's been partly taken over by a government unit. Arcady Hall.
Flamborough's place? What are you going there for?
Tact and discretion.
Oh, just for social reasons. And to do some painting. Do you know Arcady Hall, then?
Well, I met Lord Flamborough quite often when I was a girl, and then after the war, I mean the First World War, of course, Parsons' daughters couldn't quite compete. Then he married a really lovely person, Lady Flamborough, Mabel. He's odd, of course, even odder since his accident.
Oh, dear. What accident?
During the general strike, he volunteered to drive an engine. He'd always been mad about trains. He was at Norwich or somewhere, getting up steam or whatever it is one does, when some of the railway men who were on strike molested him. He was polishing the brass on the nameplate, I believe, when they got into the cab and let the brake off. The train had started to move, and as Bertie, Lord Flamborough, tried to clamber onto the footplate, he fell under the wheels, run over by his own engine. Had to have both legs amputated.
How awful.
Oh, I'm sure you won't find him at all morbid. Besides, he has 3 beautiful daughters, and I'm sure you'll enjoy their company.
Oh, no. No, I've discovered I haven't got what it takes with girls. Besides, I won't have time with my painting.
I'm staying at Flagsfield with my old nanny. I may well pop over and have a look at some of your work. Well, almost finished.
May I see it?
By all means. Although I'm afraid it may seem rather dull and old-fashioned to a young artist.
Oh, excuse me. The last train to Arcady hasn't gone yet, has it?
Yes, sir. Went 4 years ago.
I had booked in at the Verley Arms, named after the family which had occupied Arcady Hall for 400 years. Not even Paris could have competed with my first poignant sight of the hall in the moonlight. I set off eagerly the next morning. I had telephoned the professor and pretended that I was just making a casual visit. Would my powers of diplomacy be up to the task ahead? In the face of such majestic beauty, I felt it unbefitting to enter through the main gates. I found a more modest and altogether more suitable entrance.
were coming. Wait a minute and I'll come down. You're not what I expected.
What did you expect?
Grey striped trousers, an umbrella and a bowler hat. And probably pince-nez.
I'm sorry to have to disappoint you.
Crikey, I'm not disappointed. Apart from the umbrella, you look quite dashing. You'll do excellently. We're distinctly short of able-bodied men in these parts. Come on. What's your name?
Jasper Pye. And yours?
Belinda.
Ah, you must be one of Lord Flamborough's daughters.
Yes, the wicked one. Are you married?
No.
Girlfriend?
Not now.
All clear then. Wizzo.
I ought to try and find Professor Pollux, really.
No good looking for him now. He's gone to Flaxfield to arrange about the marquee for the fete. Won't be back till this afternoon. You'd only find Quirky who'd bore you with the latest batting averages. You better come and see Daddy. He's always glad of company.
What a labour it must be keeping all these hedges trimmed.
We leave all that sort of thing to the prof. Though Mummy sees to the flowers, she's a mad keen gardener.
Oh, I'm rather fond of gardening myself.
Then you'll make a hit with Mummy. I can see you settling down here for quite a while. You can't go before Monday anyway. The fete's on Monday.
What fete is this?
We hold it every August bank holiday. It's in aid of fallen women.
I beg your pardon?
The fund for fallen women. Girlies like me, but who haven't been so careful.
Well, I don't suppose I'll be able to stay that long. And anyway, it doesn't sound quite my line.
Not interested in fallen women, then?
Not as a social problem, I must admit.
Not in the mass, you mean?
No, not in the mass.
But individually, perhaps.
Yes, perhaps. Individually.
Thanks be for small mercies, anyway.
Oh, no, I don't mean I've no feeling for them. It just isn't a problem I've come up against.
You will. Ow!
I'm so sorry.
No harm done. That's a lot better. I think you've got more feeling for fallen women than you think you have.
I thought we were supposed to be going towards the hall.
Oh, Daddy doesn't live in the hall any longer. He's down at the station across the park.
Belinda, will you stop spooning for a moment and help me with the bridge?
Coming, Mummy.
Why your father chooses to exile us both to the far side of the park, I cannot imagine. I should get a girlfriend to look after him and save my poor feet.
Never mind, Mummy, it keeps you fit. And Jasper will carry your plants.
Oh, of course.
Oh, how do you do? Thank you so much. Now, Linda, dear, you'll have to interrupt your studies and go up to the hall. Quirky wants someone to help him sort out all the bunting.
But I was taking Jasper to see Daddy.
Well, Jasper can come with me. Who is Jasper, by the way?
He's the man from the ministry.
I didn't know we were expecting one. Still, you'll lunch with us, of course.
Thank you very much, Lady Flamborough.
Now, run along, Linda. Make sure Quirky gets out the flags of all nations as well as the bunting.
See you later.
I didn't realise you were one of the Professor's people. I thought you were just one of Linda's suitors.
I really must apologise, Lady
Oh,
Flamborough.
no, that's quite all right. There's always plenty of lunch. Bertie eats enough for 3. Do him good to go without his 3rd helpings. Come and see my aspidistras. It's too cold for them in East Anglia, but I've managed to grow some in the shelter of the chapel ruins. They're flourishing like stinkhorns. Look, they're flowering. Amusing, aren't they?
What a romantic sight this is.
Slugs.
I beg your pardon?
All done by slugs. They fertilise the blossoms.
How long has this been in ruins?
Oh, as long as anyone can remember. They used to hold village weddings here when Bertie was a boy. Quite irregular, of course, but the village people still have an idea that if a child is fathered on one of the girls here, it ranks as being born in wedlock, whether the parents are married or not.
What a convenient legend.
Rather a prickly place for a tryst, but it certainly suits the aspidistras.
Yes, they look like native wild flowers, but I suppose they really come from Kashmir or Tibet.
Well, I get them from Thompson and Morgan. A shilling a plant. These are all Aspidistra elatior. That's variegata, and we call that the Milky Way. This is variegata exotica. Oh, and this is Aspidistra lurida, which, as you can see, is lanceolate.
Yes, what are these here?
Oh, those are primulas. Primula obconica. That's Matilda, and this is Aspidistra typica, which is elliptical to lanceolate. Wake up, Tilly, nearly time for lunch. My youngest, Matilda. Funny girl. Spends all her time reading old-fashioned thrillers and waiting to be seduced by a sinister monk. She'll grow out of it. Bertie, I've got a man from the ministry to lunch. This is Jasper. I don't know his other name.
Can you dance the Charleston?
Well, give him a stiff drink. He's carried my plants across the park.
Oh, damn decent of you. What will you have? Like to try one of my Manhattans? Or my special dark lady? Or Angel's Tears?
Oh, well, I'll have whatever you're having, please, sir.
Oh, I think it should be a dark lady today. Sit down, dear boy.
Thank you, sir. I take it you have a private coach on the line, sir?
I own it.
Oh, you own the coach?
I own the railway. I bought the branch line, station and all, when they closed it. Railway people made me a present of the locomotive, and a fellow called Jones found the coaches in a siding in Palmer's Green. He's always got an eye for a bargain. The railway people said I could have them for a song, if I could get them here. Now, see how you like this.
Thank you, sir. Yes, is one of the ingredients, Dubonnet?
No, beetroot. It's cheaper.
Delicious. How on earth did you get the coaches down here?
Blackmail. The footplate men were threatening to come out on strike. Jones told the local branch of the union that he'd arranged for me to appear on television, waggle me stumps, and tell them how it was a railwayman's fault I lost my legs in 1926. I wouldn't have done it, of course, but they couldn't risk it. I ran the coaches down here while the strike was on. There was a lot of confusion on the railways at the time. Cleaned the coaches and oiled the engine before they went and elected me vice president of the Flaxfield branch of the union.
Luncheon is ready.
Give me a push. There's a good fellow. Thank you. Over there, old chap. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, always did enjoy eating on the train. Meals weren't always what they might have been. But now I have the best of both worlds. Home cooking and a change of scene. Oh, is Chloe in the cab?
Yes, dear.
Our eldest daughter. Shouldn't boast, I suppose, but she's a damn good engine driver. 117. Yes. Care to flag her out?
Well, thank you.
Precisely.
Will you have soup? It's mulligatawny.
Thank you.
Don't slop it, Tilly.
When you've done that, Tilly, go into the saloon and put Baghouse Blues on the phonograph. Very nice.
We ate a splendid four-course lunch, all served by Matilda, while the train made the journey to Flaxfield and back.
Lady Belinda seems to suggest that you lived on the train.
Of course. Front coach is a sleeper.
Very comfortable it is, too.
This is where you get off, young man. Arcady Halt. 2:26, 1 minute late. Not Chloe's fault. I told you we didn't want the claret tickled up. Well, hurry up, young man, or we'll be really late back at the terminus. That won't do.
Hello, I'm Quirk. I'm the archivist in the Department of Output Statistics.
Hello, I'm Jasper Pye.
The professor sent me along to welcome you. We heard on the grapevine you'd probably arrive on the Flamborough Flyer. Hope you're none the worse for the experience. I've had an excellent lunch. They usually rope me in as fireman. I gather you're on a tour of inspection.
Oh, hardly that, no. I've just come to discuss the work with Professor Pollux. And with you, of course. I must say, it's all very well kept up. Even the moat.
All the professor's doing.
Really? I wouldn't have thought he had much time with the statistical work.
Well, he doesn't neglect his work. You'll find everything shipshape. The professor's a great stickler for order and method.
Oh, no, I didn't. I wasn't, I wasn't, no, I haven't come to... Ah!
Welcome to Arcady, Mr. Pye.
How do you do, Professor? I hope I haven't arrived at an inconvenient time.
In Arcady, Mr. Pye, we are fortunate in having more time at our disposal than you restless people in London. Our place of business was erected some 470 years ago, more than 100 years before the fragment that remains of your palace in Whitehall. With so much time behind us, we should be churlish if we didn't spare a wee bit for so rare a pleasure as a visit from the ministry.
Well, good.
A clerk will show you to your room later. You will move out of the Valley Arms, won't you? Now we know that you're here. Before that, I will show you the office. I can see you're impressed by our workroom, and rightly so. This is Miss Mounsey, our department secretary.
How do you do?
How do you do? What a magnificent room. How do you manage to get any work done?
Oh, it's most convenient. The mouse, I'm sorry to say that Miss Mounsey here is known as the mouse. I don't think she bears us any ill will because of it. She sits there by the window. I sit opposite the fireplace at that refectory table, and the professor sits at the far end, up on the dais.
I always tell Clerk, when he has any bother with his firing system, one only has to look at the ceiling and one will find described, analysed, indexed and cross-indexed the human character in all its foibles and quirks.
Foibles and quirks.
Where do you keep all your files?
These are the arms of the Verley family. They indicate the relationships by marriage on which the family fortunes were based. It is quite extraordinary, Mr. Pye, how the Verley family have kept itself to itself.
It's fascinating. Where do you keep all your foreign publications?
Since the 17th century, there has hardly been a single instance of a Verley marrying anyone who was not related to them. Lady Flamborough is second cousin to her husband. Their eldest daughter, Chloe, is married to her first cousin, Lionel Verley, who is heir to the title and estate.
Hello again.
Yes, hello again.
Do you like being kissed?
Well, yes, I mean, of course.
Well, what I mean is some men don't like being kissed. They prefer to do the kissing themselves.
Oh, I see. You mean there's a difference between active and passive kissing?
Yes, if you like to put it that way. I like both, as a matter of fact. First I like to be active, then passive, then both at the same time.
Well, I suppose I should say that I like kissing more than being kissed. It's a more manly attitude, really, isn't it? But, though I wouldn't have dreamt of kissing you when I trod on your toe just now, I must admit I did rather enjoy being kissed by you.
You ought to see how you like being the kisser instead of the one who's kissed.
Ought I?
Yes, you ought. In a moment, I'm going to offer you my lips or cheek or ear, whatever you choose. And I'll be jolly disappointed if you don't see how you like it.
I wouldn't dream of disappointing you.
Then which would you prefer? Lips, cheek or ear? You kiss beautifully.
Jasper is a bore.
Suppose you're enjoying yourself too much to help me carry these plants, Linda. I promised to take them to a woman in the village. I thought I'd enjoy the walk, but they're heavier than I thought.
I'll take them. I have to collect my things from the pub.
Ah, you're going to stay at the house. Good. Linda, run along and make sure Jasper's going to be comfortable. And imagine Quirky's very strong on bodily comforts.
Oh, yes. I'd like to make sure Jasper's comfortable, Mummy. See you soon.
I really must apologise, Lady Flamborough.
Oh, nonsense. You could possibly stay at the pub.
No, I mean, for rather embarrassing meetings.
I'm never embarrassed. If you'll take a middle-aged woman's advice, you'll never be embarrassed either.
But I really ought to explain.
No, don't try. The ways of the ministry are quite inscrutable. You may be an agent from MI5, for all I know. Doesn't matter in the slightest, as long as you don't mind carrying the bridal wreath.
The bridal wreath? I have to tell you that the situation in which you found us was quite, fortuitous.
Fortuitous? Amusing. I never heard it called that before. But tell me, how do you like the bridal wreath?
Lady Flamborough, look, I have to tell you, I have no intention of getting married.
No? Well, you can have one all the same. I'd give you that one if I hadn't promised it to a cottager in the village.
You mean this pot plant?
Is what is known as the bridal wreath. Spirea arguta.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Lady Flamborough. I'd love one.
I'd like to book out. There's nothing wrong with my room. It's just that I've been invited to stay at Arcady Hall.
Not as the guest of Professor Duncan McAllister Pollux. Professor of Pomposity at the University of Aberdeen, and...
Yes, I am the guest of Professor Pollux.
Well, my dear sir, kindly remember to spell it with a P and not a B.
Don't take any notice of him, dearie. It's just his little joke. He don't always see eye to eye with the Professor. But the Professor's done a lot of good for Arcady.
His lordship needs someone like him to manage the estate for him.
Mr. Jones, what can I get you?
Pint of pig's ear, please, Dimple. Evening, gents. Lovely time of year for the weather.
Jones, are you the man who got the railway coaches for Lord Flamborough?
So what if I am?
I believe you have the collector's bug. I may have something for you.
Oh, yes?
I bought a ticket from Liverpool Street to Arcady yesterday.
No, you can't have. The line ends at Flaxfield. The branch line to Arcady was closed 4 years ago.
Yes, I didn't know that, and neither, it seems, to Liverpool Street Station.
This is a collector's item. Liverpool Street to Arcady. And dated 4 years after they closed the line. This is the ticket equivalent of the unperforated stamp. What do you want for it?
Oh, no, you're welcome to it. It's no use to me.
Oh, much obliged to you, sir. I dare say you don't realise the value of a curiosity like this to a student of serendipity like myself.
Serendipity? What the blazes is serendipity? Something naughty, I'll be bound.
Serendipity is the lucky chance by which I picks up unconsidered trifles. And I don't mean picking up glasses in a bar.
Eh? That's meant for me, is it?
Steady.
Mr. Jones was just having his little joke, like what you did earlier.
I can take a joke as well as the next man, but if some tuppenny-halfpenny cockney pipsqueak, who's only here on sufferance, is going to make offensive remarks...
Please, he was only joking.
I don't want you to think I can't take a joke. Jones is all right, really. Thinks we're all a lot of old has-beens down here, and I expect he's right. But you see the family motto, the Burley family motto up there? Hic Manimus, here we stay. Relics, that's what we are. Collector's pieces. That's why this picker-up of unconsidered trifles finds us of interest. With something to stick in his scrapbook.
Who on earth was that?
That was only Lionel Verley, husband of Lord Flamborough's oldest daughter, Chloe, and heir to the title and the estate. Funny old world, isn't it?
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Allow me.
Oh, thank you.
Do you bat or bowl, or both?
I beg your pardon?
I can see you're a cricketer. We shall be glad of you for the Flaxfield match on Saturday, our derby game. It's our 100th match this season. We're always short of players at harvest time.
Well, I do play a bit. I suppose my batting isn't quite as indifferent as my bowling, but I'm totally out of practice.
Naturally, that's what I've come to tell you. We're practicing now. Lionel, our champion batsman, is already at the nets.
Oh, no, I hardly think he's in a fit state for cricket practice. I haven't any kit.
Well, of course not. That's what I've come to tell you. I found you a spare pair of trousers and a pair of boots and a place to change.
Oh, no, wait, I don't think... I really... No. Cricket seems to take up a lot of your time.
Not to the neglect of my duties.
Oh, no, I didn't. I wasn't. Good Lord.
Classy.
Not enough ballast.
Yeah! Knocked him in the old Kent Road!
Half a pint on the stumps, and a large scotch for anyone who catches me.
Oh, sounds good.
Never mind. It's your batting we're playing you for. Oh, it's a tradition of the club. We retrieve the ball ourselves when it's been hit into the woods.
You won't find anything unless you look. You won't hear anything unless you listen.
Who is it? Who are you? Where are you?
You won't find what you want by looking on the ground.
Ah. You're in the tree, aren't you?
Who are you?
I'm the ghost of Bonnie Prince Charlie in the Boscobel Oak.
Oh, it wasn't Bonnie Prince Charlie who sheltered in the Boscobel Oak. It was Charles II. And this is a beech tree.
Ah. Well, I'm the ghost of Charles II, then.
You seem to be the wrong sex for Charles II.
I'm a hermaphrodite, actually. I'm a lost soul. I can take on human form, male or female, at will.
Oh, well,
Can you catch?
Well, yes, of course I can catch. I'm a newly elected member of the Arcady Cricket Club, so...
Can you catch with your eyes closed?
I could try.
Well, walk forward till you're standing underneath the lowest branch of the tree. Hold out your arms. And close your eyes. If you open them, I shall put a spell on you and you'll become a lost soul too. Catch!
Oh!
You're rather a butterfingers, aren't you?
Well, I wasn't prepared for such a handful. Look, would you mind loosening your stranglehold? I'm having trouble getting up.
Only if you swear to keep your eyes shut.
I swear. Right, now,
Ah, another fortuitous situation.
You promised you wouldn't open your eyes. Now you've lost me.
My cottager was delighted with the bridal wreath.
Oh, good, good.
I do hope your work is going well.
Well, I don't seem to be having much time, really, what with one thing and another.
Well, life can be so full, can't it? Is this what you were looking for? With your eyes shut?
It is marked in a 17th century plan as the eating room, and that is how it is still described today. Although the company that usually sits here consists of just 3 civil servants, we do respect tradition and adhere to the old terminology. I hope, Mr. Pye, you will not refer to it in your report as the canteen.
Oh, no, my report will be concerned with the work done, not with the topography of the office.
So you are going to write a report, Mr. Pye? I had put my own interpretation on your visit, but this is the first direct intimation I have been given of its purpose.
Since you know that I'm preparing a report, perhaps we could discuss the unit's work now?
No.
Oh. Well, it doesn't matter then. There's plenty of time.
We have to attend a conference in Lord Flamborough's train to decide on the programme for the fete. Perhaps you'd join us.
Yes, I'd like that.
Aye, my dear Pye, you are going to join in, are you not? You too are an Arcady now.
Ah, come in, Prof. Come in, Quirky. I'm glad to see you brought this young fellow from the ministry. He'll have some ideas for us. He tells me he can dance the Charleston.
He's a useful opening bat, too.
Oh, what a fellow.
Shall we begin? I should like to propose his lordship takes the chair.
Seconded. Declined. I never could be trusted with fallen women. Let's take our orders from the Prof, as usual.
The Lord has spoken. I have much pleasure in seconding the Professor for the chair of female delinquency.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Lord, ladies, gentlemen, and Jones, I appreciate your confidence in me. The marquee and the catering are in hand, and I have arranged for the provision of a pig and a set of bulls with which to bull for them. I have also secured a Suffolk ham which will be suspended from a tree and awarded to the competitor who succeeds in pinking it with a foil or épée blindfolded.
I hope you've arranged for the St. John's ambulance people to be present.
We must have fireworks.
Oh, that would come under any other ideas, Lady Belinda. We are at present considering the chairman's report. Her ladyship has agreed to organise a flower show, and the Lady Chloe is arranging a sweetie stall. I propose to call on Mr. Jones to put his talents as a salesman at our disposal and run a jumble sale.
Jumble? Jumble, not on your live cock. Call it relics and curios, if you like, or treasure trove, not jumble.
Right. That concludes the chairman's report. We come now to the next item on the agenda. Any other ideas? I believe you suggested pyrotechnics, Lady Belinda.
Well, I think we should have fireworks. Rockets, Catherine wheels, golden rain.
And a set piece, I suggest, illustrating a woman in the act of falling.
Flagrante delicto. Sorry.
Right, I'll organise the fireworks then, shall I?
I'm all lit up. Lit up like a Christmas tree. If you're talking of a firework display, I suggest all you need do is set a match to my breath.
What about Mr. Pye?
Ah, yes. What about Mr. Pye?
Well, perhaps I could arrange something in the nature of, treasure hunt?
Well, I forgot to mention that. It's already been arranged. It's been organised by the kiddies from the primary school.
Think again, chum.
Why can't he put on a demonstration of the Charleston? I dare say the village girls would gladly pay 6 a time for a hop with him.
I have an idea our shy Mr. Pye is not too keen.
Perhaps Mr. Pye has a talent for fortune-telling. We did very well with Madame Fatima last year.
Yes, and the chiropodist from Flaxfield who did it has moved to Brightlingsea.
I used to know a little girl from Brightlingsea. Name of Ada. Platinum blonde. She threw me over for a pork butcher. Pity. Still, never mind. I got Susie now.
Ignoring that contribution, what do you say, Mr. Pye, to impersonating Madame Fatima?
Well, I've never done that sort of thing, and I'm not sure that I'd be very convincing. And I'm not sure that I'll still be here.
Oh, you'll still be here.
I know what Mr. Pye could do convincingly. He could kiss the girls at $1 a time.
Yes, or even half a crown.
Oh, really, Lady Belinda? Really, Lady Matilda?
Perhaps it's a role more suited to Lionel.
I'm not kissing any girls. I've got my Susie to deal with.
Do we know who this Susie is?
Could be that chorus girl from Lowestoft.
Is there any other business?
How about an ankle competition? I'm sure Mr. Pye is a very good judge of ankles.
I was getting a bit irritated by the assumption that I was interested in kisses and ankles.
Well, all right, then, yes, I'll judge ankles.
But I couldn't say no to everything.
A good man. I knew you'd stay.
Traction engines.
Will you be quiet?
It's any other idea, isn't it? This isn't any other idea. It's a traction engine rally idea. And I had the idea, and I've organised it for the fete.
You've organised a traction engine rally?
Yes, Daphne. I've been round all the pubs in Thetford and Diss and Beccles and Bungay, and I've rallied the Black Caps. 11 engines will assemble on the green at noon on Bank Holiday Monday. And I must go. Susie's outside.
Outside? Lionel, really?
Come on, Prof. Come and meet Susie.
Oh, this is preposterous. Outrageous. We haven't even finished any other ideas.
Yeah, wheel me to the door, Jonesy. There's a good fellow. Must see what she's like. One never can be sure with Lionel's girls.
Linda, Tilly, come and have a look at this. Meet the new girlfriend. Isn't she a smasher?
Well, we seem to have fallen into an error of deduction.
Perhaps he really has organised this rally.
Oh, not again.
Will you help me get him home?
Of course, Lady Chloe.
Bubbly, that's what we want. Magnums and Jeroboams and bubbly. Oh.
You're going to lie down for a little while first, Lionel?
Mm-hmm. It's just like a wife, always fussing like an old hen.
Will you bring me the brandy, Ducky?
You stay there, darling. I'll see if I can find some. He'll fall off to sleep now. He usually does. Thank you. Should we go down to the buttery and have a drink ourselves? I could do with one. Do you mind sitting in one of these awful chairs? I'll see what there is to drink. I keep the door locked when Lionel's in one of his states. I don't like to risk him going down the dungeon steps and breaking his neck.
What fascinating names these rooms have. Damask room, moonlight room, gilded turret, Gothic chamber. Sir Almeric's room. Are you all right?
Please forgive me.
What's the matter?
We'd better go.
Is it Lionel? Oh, Chloe. Poor Chloe.
You are so